Okay, welcome everyone. The sun is shining upon me. It's a beautiful day in Germantown. I got a wonderful request this week for footwork and ankle work. And um, full disclosure, every time any one of you gives me a request, I love it because it like brings out the creativity in me, and I want to create something that hopefully hits the spot that you hoped it would, and it gives me a lot of direction. So please don't ever feel like a request is not worth bringing up, because it always is. Um, so practicing this, I was really feeling some relief in my feet and my ankles. And then we're going to play with this. So we'll see how our foundation has an impact on the legs in general. So we'll play with that. And then we'll play on with some balance that may come along with like that stability in our stance. And as always, you'll have options. And as always, the intention here is none other than to experience yourself just as you are. So there's never a need to bring judgment, to bring a sense of this has to look a certain way or feel a certain way. Just be as you are. Okay. Christopher, you'll have to stand, please. So 2 blocks, and I'm going to keep this simple. Our blocks are going to not move too much really until the very end of practice. So 2 blocks at the top of the mat, and then just for the sake of like setting things up the right way the first time, make sure that your feet fit in between the blocks on the floor. And they'll move a little bit, and that's okay, but that's the we'll work with standing on the block and standing in between the blocks, okay? So when you're ready, when you're all set up, step your feet onto the blocks. They'll be a little wider than hips width distance, not a problem. And close your eyes if that feels okay for you. And then rock, let out a yawn, a sigh, a laugh, a meow. Meow. And then just start to rock your weight from foot to foot, side to side, front and back. Just feel what you're working with this evening. Notice the tips of your toes, at least, I guess, depending on the size of your foot. I have rather large feet. I'm a rather large human. So the tips of my toes are kind of hanging off the blocks. So notice how your feet either fit very perfectly in the length of the block, or if your feet are ever so slightly longer than the block. It doesn't matter, just notice it. And these are our anchors for our own reality, for what's happening right here. So is the ball of your foot going to, or is the toes hanging over the edge of the block going to make some magical transformation? No, but it might take your mind off of something that happened yesterday, 2 weeks ago, 7 years ago, etc. When your rocking action brings you to natural stillness, just pause there and just sense, feel, notice any parts of you, like on a energetic level, that are still moving, even though you yourself, your physical body, have found this relative stillness in this moment. You can absolutely keep your eyes closed for this, totally up to you. The next time you inhale, reach your fingertips wide, let the palms turn to face forward, stretch the fingertips as your arms widen and extend up overhead. Let the palms keep facing each other. The shoulders can soften away from the ears and stop at your natural stopping point so that your shoulders aren't shrugged up by your ears. Maybe we'll get there later. Let your arms stay wide if that will accommodate the rotation of the shoulders. Turn your palms to face forward. Take your left wrist with your right fingertips. Push into your left foot. Just lean up and over to the right. Very simple. Reverse. Inhale through center. Exhale. I'll lean to the right. I'll lean to the left. So you're having this right side body stretch. Inhale through center. As you exhale, release the arms, soften the knees, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Your feet are still on the blocks. Let your knees bend a little bit or a lot. Let your head go, let your neck go, let your jaw go, and then take opposite elbows. Just kind of ragdoll yourself from side to side. Maybe give the head a nod and a shake so that you can release tension in the neck. And then again, let movement just organically stop until you found some place of stillness. And then even if the hamstrings are tight, unbend the legs, even if your elbows have to come up quite a bit. And then release your fingertips and just notice where the fingertips stop, what they're in line with. And you don't have to yank your neck to do that. Just look, just peek. And soften the knees again. Roll your way up to stand. Bring your hands onto your hips. Let's do this together, okay? So left foot stays just as it is on the block. Let your right toes kind of hang off the front of the block. So the ball of my foot is off the edge of the block. So there's a the corner of the block is wedged into the space, the fleshy part of my foot behind the ball of my foot. And then just kind of rock your weight from the inner foot to the outer foot there. And we're going to move systematically, like half an inch at a time. You can move the foot forward further off the block. So you're the corners in like a different fleshy spot. And then hopefully, if you've ever done this with a tennis ball, you'll get to the places where you're like, oh yeah, that's a spot right there. And it's different for all of us. When you get to a spot that is giving you that sensation, check it out for a little while. So the other thing is that at a certain point, you'll get to a place where your foot's like totally off the block. If you didn't get to like the lower part of the foot that's closer to the heel before that happens to you, you can switch. So the foot is actually reaching behind. And same thing, you'll have to bend the left knee a little bit, but you can get the edge of the block into the sole of your foot. And I'm going to peek up. Is anyone not feeling something at all? Allison, you're good. Jess, you're good. Jamie, you're good. Okay. And Melinda, you're good. And Lil, you're good. Okay. So a couple more breaths there, a couple more seconds, and then option or next step number 2 is that you'll move the ball of your foot to the like back mat part of the block and let your heel come down. Ooh, and it's kind of tricky. So your heel can just hang without flipping the block. So you have a calf stretch back there. You feeling that? Mm-hmm. And you'll find the place where like your block's not going to tip on you, but you're getting that really nice calf stretch. And if you have a wall or something, that might feel nice. And then progression number 3, just a different part of the foot. You'll keep your left foot on the block. Your right foot will step anywhere. It could be between the blocks. It could be behind the block. Your toes will uncurl behind you. So you're really stretching out the front of the foot. Oh. So Jess, my toes are untucked and they're reaching behind me. So you're stretching like the top of the foot. Does that make sense? Okay. I know we never do this stuff, so it's kind of tricky. And this for me feels like a lot. Yes, Allison? Okay, good. Okay. So this is not the last time in this class you'll have a chance to do that. But when you're done, put your right foot on the floor. On the block. I'm sorry, on the block. Take a big breath in and out just to feel the difference for a moment from side to side. And then inhale your arms to the sky. And exhale, fold forward. You can soften the knees. Just feel the difference. Notice where your right hand is landing versus your left hand, how it feels in the backs of the legs, right? The feet are really connected to that whole back line. Bend your knees, roll your way up to stand. And then we'll do the same things with the left foot. So you can start by getting the edge of the block into the fleshy part of the left foot, just behind the ball of the foot. Oh. And we're so different from side to side that this might feel totally different. You might feel the sensations in different places. You might feel less sensation altogether. Once you find those spots where you're like, oh, give it a breath or two. And then we'll get into the calf stretch. So you can let the ball of the foot stay on the block. Just let your heel drop down if you were stretching your calf on a stair, except the block's a little less stable. Especially my block, because it's half on a carpet and half off a carpet. I think Chris was trying to sabotage me, but I'll bring that up with him later. And then progression number 3 is to keep the toes untucked behind you. Oh. And if you want to step off the block to do this, if that makes more sense for what's happening in your body, go right ahead. Oh. Last breath or two here. And you can put your left foot back on the block when you're ready. Inhale, arms to the sky. Last time, as you exhale, fold forward over the legs, and then really feel the difference here. The way the fingertips are making contact with the ground or hovering in front of the, big difference on you. Good job. Roll your way back up to stand. Keep your right foot on the block, and then just a couple moments here, a couple breaths. Do something with your left foot that we've already explored that felt really good. Like a little repeat, right? This is you giving yourself that that thing that only you know feels great. So right foot's on the block. And then when you're ready, bring your left foot between the blocks and then just kind of glide it back. Start to bend into the right knee. Bring your hands to the mat. The blocks. Soften your left knee down to the ground. So your right ankle's just over your right knee, and bring your arms towards the sky. Your left toes can stay tucked or untucked. Push into the left foot. Send your left waist, your left hip forward, arms to the sky. Soften your jaw, soften your neck. Keep your right foot connected to the block. So the ball of the foot, the outer heel of your foot. Stay as you are. Last breath in. As you exhale, hands to the block. So you'll kind of replace your right foot with your right hand. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. Step your right foot back to meet your left foot. You're in plank pose. Lower your knees for this first round. Shift your weight forward, shoulders beyond fingertips. As you exhale, lower your shoulders to elbow height for like a modified chaturanga. Inhale, push up. If down dog works for you, hands on blocks, do that. If not, grab the outer edges of the mat so you're not moving your blocks too much. Take down dog. Feel the difference side to side. Let your head go, let your neck go, let your jaw go. Send your sits bones high to the sky. Draw your belly in and up so your low back is lengthening. And then look up at the blocks. Put your hands on the blocks. Shift forward, plank pose here. Lift your right leg up ever so slightly. And then kick your left heel back so you're feeling that calf stretch. Lift your right leg a little higher, square your hips. As you exhale, coil the knee towards the nose. And then dome into the upper back like cat. Look forward, step forward. This will be the easiest step forward ever. Step your left foot to meet your right foot just between the blocks. Hands are on blocks. Inhale, halfway lift from here. Exhale, soft knees fold. Inhale all the way up to stand, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pause for a moment. Bring your chin to your chest. Just breathe. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel your knees wrap up as you engage the quadriceps. And then without moving anything in space, push down into the feet to lift up through the crown of your head. Soften your shoulders, soften your jaw. Deepen your breath. Release your hands down at your sides. Blink your eyes open. Step back onto the blocks. Left foot stays on the block this time. Right foot gets whatever yummy thing you did round one. Now we're at round two. Calf stretch. Yeah. Okay. Stand on your left foot. Left foot comes, like dangles between the blocks. Glide the right foot back if you have to take a couple steps, not a big deal. I have to like scoot the foot back a little bit and then soften the knee to the ground, a little bit of balance already. Arms to the sky, low lunge with your foot on the block, right? The inner ball of your foot, the outer heel of your foot, making contact with the block. Wrap your right hip, your right waist forward. Push into the foot, feel the thigh open up. Last breath here. Ribs in and down. Low back lengthens as you exhale, hands to the mat. Right knee lifts. Left foot steps back to meet the right foot. We're going to do a push-up again. Option to bring the knees down, not a problem. Shift forward. Shoulders no lower than the elbows. Inhale, push up. Exhale, down dog on blocks or grip the mat. Breathe here. Look forward. If you're gripping the mat, put your hands on the blocks. Shift forward to plank. Keep your right toes down. Lift your left foot off the floor. And then shift weight back into your right heel. Feel that calf stretch. Coil your left knee to your nose. Dome the upper back like cat. Look forward. Easy step forward. Yes. Right foot meets left foot. Hands are on blocks. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way to stand. Hands to heart center, chin to chest. 3 deep breaths here. Come right back to the feet on the floor. This time, instead of pushing down, imagine you could suck the earth's energy up through your feet. Last breath in. Open your mouth, sigh out. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Halfway lift, reverse. Hands stay on the block. Step your left foot back to a lunge. Take an inhale. As you exhale, push your right leg straight, bend your left knee. So you're feeling a calf stretch. I feel it in the top of my foot here too. Inhale, bend into the knee, straighten the left leg, and then reverse. Right leg straightens, left knee bends, hamstring stretch, foot stretch. Don't let the inner foot pop up. Inhale, bend into the knee, straighten the left leg. One more. Good. Stay here. Exhale, belly off your thigh. Left hand stays down. Right fingertips float up. Take a twist. And then squeeze your inner hips, your outer hips towards the midline. Glue the big toe ball nut of your right foot down as your right hip scoops in and back. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale, right hand down outside the right foot. Spin your left heel down. Inhale, left fingertips to the sky. Extended side angle variation. Push your right knee into your right bicep. Shoulders soft away from your ears. Left leg working a lot. Feel the knife edge of the foot on the ground. Last breath in. As you exhale, left arm scoops all the way overhead. Feel that side body stretch. Look down. Left hand down inside the left foot. Crawl to the middle of the mat. Push your right leg straight. Watch out for the block. Turn your toes in. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Good, big breath in here. Flubber the lips. Put a little bend in your knees, roll up to stand. Hands to your hips here. All the weight's gonna come into your right foot. You're gonna bend the right knee and launch your left knee in towards your belly. Woo. Wobble, wobble. Yeah, it's okay. And then turn the knee out wide and bring the foot to the inner leg anywhere for tree pose. Yeah, wobble, wobble. That's okay. Woo. Yeah, and then with your left hand, notice if your left hip is wrapping back, and then tell it to line up really evenly with your right hip. It doesn't want to. Yes, very good. And then if it feels right to you, your hands can come to your heart center. Your hands can extend overhead. Totally up to you. So don't lose that connection to your right foot that we've been working on. Push down to lift up. And then with your left foot, push into that inner right leg. And with your inner right leg, push out against your left foot. Very active. Good. Hands back to heart center if you lifted them. Back to your hips if they're at your heart. Left knee turns towards center. And then you're going to reverse it. So you can bend into your right knee a little bit. Take a big step out wide. Yep. Left toes turn to the back of the mat. Left knee bends, warrior two, facing to the left. And fire up your right glute. Send your right thigh back. Draw your belly in, ribs in. So the low back lengthens. Fingertips active, shoulders soft, jaw soft. Last breath in here, please. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands down inside your left foot. And then just like we did with the lunge, wrap your left hip in until you feel a hip stretch. So you can even use your thumb here. Push it back. Yeah. Yeah, you feel it now? Mm-hmm. Breathe in. Crawl your way back to the middle of the mat. Bypass the middle of the mat, crawl to the top of the mat, right toes face forward, hands back to blocks, please. And then scoot your right foot back a little bit so you have plenty of room here. Left leg to the sky, standing split. And kick through your left heel, square off your hips. Like a curtsy, bend your right knee a little. Tap your left knee behind your right calf. Get as low as you can. Feel that ankle work, that ankle stability. Inhale, standing split or modified warrior three, whatever it looks like for you. Kick through your left heel. Exhale, little curtsy, left knee taps behind the right calf as low as you can. Inhale, we'll do two more. Exhale. Inhale, keep your right heel on the floor as you do this. Good, last one, exhale. We're gonna switch it up a little. Inhale, modified warrior 3 or standing split. And then exhale, just bring your left knee to meet your right knee. Now on purpose, big IT band stretch. Let your left knee and your left hip sag. Oh, yep. Stay. Stay for 2. Stay for 1. Left foot meets right foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Oh, exhale, fold. Chair pose will never have felt so good. Knees bend, arms rise. Utkatasana. So shift weight back into the heels. Breathe. Last exhale. Inhale, push the legs straight, lean the upper body up and back. Little back bend. Exhale, arms wide and down at your sides. Just feel. There's a long side. Step back up between the blocks. We haven't moved them yet. Inhale, arms rise. Fold forward. Halfway lift from here. As you exhale, step your right foot back to a lunge. And then we're at the top of the second side. So as you push your left leg straight, you'll bend into your right knee. And you'll have all kinds of sensation there. As you inhale, your left knee will bend, your right leg will straighten. And you'll do that 4 more times. This is my last time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale brings me back to a lunge. Exhale, belly off your thighs. Squeeze the outer hips in. Get set up. Inhale, left fingertips to the sky for a twist. And you know what it feels like to hug that left hip in. You can even bring your hand to your sacrum here, right? Proprioception. What does it feel like to have hip square? Last breath in. Exhale, left hand down to the block outside your left leg. Spin your right heel down. And then right fingertips to the sky for that extended side angle pose. Breathe. Feel your left foot and your right foot push down into the ground. And then imagine scooping energy up through your feet into your crown of your head. Turn the palm down, sweep the arm overhead. Side body stretch. Exhale, look down, sweep your hands between the legs. Turn the left toes in, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, take that nice extension, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, let it go. Put a little bend in your knees, roll up to wide-legged stand, hands to hips. Bend into your left knee a little bit. You're gonna come one step or many steps to tree pose. Woo. It's hard. It's okay. We're building muscles here. The muscle to have a sense of humor with ourselves. And then use your right hand to send the right hip forward. Feel your foot on the floor. Feel your foot at your inner leg. Feel your inner leg connected to your foot. And activate all 3 of those points of contact. And bring your hands to your heart. You can extend your arms overhead. Do what makes sense for you. Last breath here. Just feel. And then hands to heart, or maybe, and all the way down to your hips. Ooh, lost it at the end. We're gonna come out of tree pose, back to wide-legged stance, just like we came in. So the left knee will bend a little bit, and you'll take a big step wide, toes turn in. Right toes face the back of the mat, bend your right knee. Warrior 2 facing behind you. Feel your belly draw in. And not in a way that you're like sucking your belly in, but in this way that like your front body and your back body are equally spacious. Soft shoulders, active fingertips. Feel your right hip sucking in towards the socket, because in a moment we'll get into that hip stretch. Breathe. And then exhale, cartwheel your hands to the mat. Scoop your right hip in like it's magnetizing towards your left heel. Oh. Yes. And it'll feel so good in a moment to get some relief in this leg. Last breath here. Feel the hip. Good. Crawl all the way back towards the top of the mat. Left toes face forward, hands to blocks. Left foot can step back a little bit so you have room for your standing split or your warrior three, whatever it is. Right leg up and back. So this guy kicks through your heel. Then little curtsy, bend your left knee. Keep your heel on the ground. Tap your right knee behind your left calf and get as low as you can. Inhale to straighten both the legs. Exhale, tap knee behind calf. Inhale, lengthen. 2 more, exhale. Inhale. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. We're moving into that IT band stretch. Knee meets knee. And then on purpose, let your hip sag, let your knee fall towards the left floor, the floor. Oh, big outer hip stretch. Whew. Stay for 2. Stay for 1. Right foot meets left foot. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, knees bend, arms rise. Chair pose, never felt so good. Stay low. Slip your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. Drag your knuckles down. Lift your heart high as you exhale. Fold forward over straight, strong legs. Big fist to the sky. Yeah. Let your head, neck, jaw go. If this doesn't feel kind on your shoulders, you have a strap nearby. You can grab that, or you can take opposite elbows. Stay low, release your fingertips to the floor. Roll your way up to stand. Step back onto your blocks, please. Hands to hips. I'm moving these totally onto the carpet. Today will not be the day. Fall on my face. Although the night is young, anything could happen. All right, right foot on the floor, hands to hips. So options here, we're gonna play with balance. Our legs are super strong right now. Our feet are very grounded, hopefully, that's the goal. If at any time, for any reason, you don't feel safe and stable on your blocks, do this with me on the floor, okay? Hands to hips, right foot is your standing foot. Bring your left knee in toward your belly. Widen your left knee out to the left without letting your left hip come with you. Right knee comes, or left knee comes in towards center. Step left foot to the block. Left foot is your standing foot, right knee to your belly. Widen the right knee to the right. Knee through center. Right foot steps to the block. We'll switch and add. Left knee in. Left knee wide. Left knee forward. Hands to hips or hands to heart. Play with warrior three. Right hip stays lifting if you're doing that. Left knee back in towards center. Step left foot to the block. Left foot is standing foot. Right foot to belly. Right foot wide. Right knee wide. Right knee in. Play with warrior three. Whatever feels safe for you. The left hip stays lifting. Bring your right knee back to the belly. Ooh. Right foot is standing foot. We'll just keep adding. Left knee in towards the belly. Left knee widens. You can get off this bus at any time. Left knee in. Play with warrior three. The right hip stays lifting, lifting, lifting. Bend your right knee, take a big step back to lunge. Your right foot stays on the block. Oh, arms to the sky. Maybe lean your heart up and back. Beautiful, hands back to your hips. You have to use your right leg a lot this time. Right foot standing on the block. Left knee comes back, ooh, back in towards the belly. Left foot to left block. Same. Right knee in. Right knee wide. Right knee in. Play with warrior three, don't rush. Left hip is lifting, lifting, lifting. Bend into the knee, take a big step back. Oh, the floor is further away than it usually is. Arms to the sky. Maybe lean the chest up and back, arms back. Big thigh stretch here. Hands to hips. Push into the left foot, right knee in, right foot to right block. Last one. I'm just going to repeat. If there's something you feel like adding here, slowing down, this is your practice. This is your time. Take your time. Wobbling is happening over here. And when you finish your final cycle, just stand. Think about what it means to be able to stand on one foot on a block in your home and move in that way. Now, I work at a hospital, and I know others of you do as well. And what I take away from seeing people so sick, so deconditioned, is how truly incredible it is to have a body that can do things, even if there's wobbling, even if it doesn't look like you thought it should look. Being able to feel your feet, see your feet, it's really quite wonderful. Last breath here. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. You can soften the knees, hands find the ground from here, and then step back. Lower the knees to the ground, and then set your blocks up on their highest height. We're going to use these for a mini chaturanga moment. Bring your fingertips to touch behind the blocks, and then walk your knees back so you have a real long table. Shift your upper body forward so that your shoulders look like they're just over the blocks, and then bend your elbows, let your shoulders kiss. Oh, that's chaturanga right there. Inhale, use your belly, push up, harder than it looks. 2 more, exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga, shoulder tips on blocks. Inhale, push up. Whew, last one. Inhale, push up. Move the blocks off to the side. Hands replace where they just were, shift forward. As you exhale, chaturanga, no blocks this time. Inhale, push up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal up the feet. We haven't been here in quite some time. Wrap the triceps in. Bend the knees, send the sits bones high to the sky. Lengthen the low back by drawing the belly in. With a soft bend in the knees, push up the balls of your feet. Ripple forward to a plank. Exhale, pass through chaturanga. You were just there. Lower all the way to your belly. Widen your fingertips as wide as the mat, or even wider than the mat. Zipper your inner thighs in. Peel your chest up. Look over your right shoulder, let your left shoulder come towards midline. Come through center. Look over your left shoulder, let your right shoulder dip in. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, lengthen as you lower. All the way to the forehead. Slide your hands in for baby cobra. Zipper the inner thighs in. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Lift your chest. Long neck. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Walk or step or hop your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way to stand, arms to the sky. Gather what your feet are putting down, right? Solid foundation. Exhale, dive right back down. Find a halfway lift, lengthen the entire back body, the backs of the legs, the back of the spine. Exhale, hands to the mat, step your way to plank. Big breath in. Exhale, lower to the belly or chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Shoulders are moving away from the ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Let it go. Breathe in. Blubber the lips. Good. Last time, breathe in. Good. Right leg lifts up and back. Yogi's choice for a hip opener. Pigeon awaits or that wide setup, foot outside the little finger. Whatever works for you. I know some people's knees don't enjoy pigeon. And we're going to take it down now. So fingertips to the ground. Peel your chest up. And then when you're ready, when it's right, walk your hands forward, come down onto forearms, come all the way down. You choose your practice. Let your breath settle. Right, we just picked up some heat there, right at the end. Our arms had it in them. We barely did a plank pose. In a moment or two, we'll come out of pigeon on this side. And as we do that, I want to leave it up to you as to what will be right. So you can take like a child's pose all the way up to like the opposite end of the spectrum and take like a flip dog. I really want to give you an option so that you know where we're going and you can kind of plan ahead. If you want to stay in pigeon for another moment or two, that's up to you also. When you're ready, you can start to plan your departure. Come out the way you know you like it the best. And in a moment, we'll meet back in down dog or table, and we'll move towards the second side. So you don't have to rush. If you're one step ahead of me, settle into your wide stance or your pigeon. If you're one step behind me, you'll meet us, no problem. Left leg can reach up or it doesn't have to. And then get your hip opener. So if you're in like a lizard stance, it might not make sense for you to lift the heart up. If you're in pigeon, you might have a lot of space to really do that. And then you'll come down. Just breathe. Observe yourself from outside of yourself. You have a trained eye, so you know that you're not just a lazy yogi doing nothing right now. You're sitting with all the stuff that comes up, and you stop moving. Quite challenging. You have the next few breaths to kind of plan your transition out of pigeon, or out of your hip opener, I should say. Hip openers are personal. So what you do with your body over the next couple breaths is a decision only you can make. And then look forward, please, and walk your way feet forward so you can come to sit down. Feet to the floor, arms reach forward, plug your shoulders onto your back, lift your chest, lift the crown of your head, keep your feet down, and then lean back a couple inches. Oh, push down into your feet. Lie back a couple inches. Shoulders on your back, crown of your head lifting. Lie back. Slowly. Yeah, keep your feet down. Hear my voice quivering? I'm working. Lie back. Ooh. Belly in. And then at a certain point, you'll start to have to kind of hollow out the belly, hollow out the low back. You'll roll. Try to get the heels down, the feet down. You'll come all the way onto your back, reach your arms overhead and out wide. Maybe you lasted quite a bit longer than I did. Congratulations, you are a rock star. Feet on the floor, just under the knees. Push into the feet, that solid, firm foundation. As you inhale, lift your hips to the sky. Your arms, perhaps they're still overhead like mine are. As you exhale, roll all the way onto your back again. Sweep your arms down at your sides. Really slow. Sacrum comes down as your palms plant. Inhale, push into the feet. Send the arms up overhead, move. Same pace. The hips, the arms are moving together. They're arriving at their end point at the same time. Exhale, roll down on the spine, sweep the arms down at your sides. Inhale, arms rise, hips rise. Feel the inner feet. This time, keep your hips lifting. Send your arms high to the sky. And then as they start to reverse, as they start to come down, like towards the legs, push down into the hands, like you're pushing the air down. Lift your hips even higher. Keep the inner feet glued down. Keep the inner knees drawn in. Bridge pose, breathe in. Squeeze your glutes, hug your knees in, breathe out. Last breath in, push into the back of the head. Feel the front of the throat. Exhale, lower. The hips all the way to the ground. Bring your feet together to touch, let your knees drop out wide. Bring a hand to your belly and a hand to your heart. Breathe. Feel your whole back as the foundation now. Just like you did with the feet. Think about pushing the back body down into the ground. What that's like, how much of you it can support. And then soften the back body. Think about breathing the air or breathing the earth up into the back body with each inhalation. Widen your arms to a T. Keep your left leg just as it is. Stack your right leg on top of the left. So you're turning into a twist. And then adjust the legs as much or as little as you like. So you have this supine twist. Lift the knees up through center, drop them over to the right, and stack them, stagger them. Any arrangement that absolutely works for you. Bring your knees up through center. Give yourself a final squeeze. Maybe this looks like happy baby. Maybe what you're craving is a seated forward fold. Anything with your hips in deep flexion is fine with me. It could even be like a halasana. And prepare yourself for rest. Before you close the eyes, before you let yourself drift off, settle and resettle, wiggle, squirm around until you find a place that feels completely divine for you to rest. Your mind feels like it's racing, which it will do. There's nothing wrong with that. You can put a hand on your belly and let that be your anchor for your awareness. Just focus all of your attention on the rise and the fall of your hand with your breath. Anytime you notice yourself moving away from that, just bring yourself back. And stay just as you are in stillness. You don't have to do anything to move right now. And let your breath come back. Let your inhalation bring you deeper within. Let something go as you exhale. And then whenever it's right, whatever organic movements present themselves, just listen. Listen to your inner voice. You can start to make your way up to a seat. There's no right or wrong way, and there's no rush. Take your sweet time. When you get there, when you have built yourself upright, you feel your seat on the floor. You push down into your seat to lift up through the crown of your head. Unyielding support of the ground beneath you. And bring your hands gently together to touch in front of your heart center, and with reverence, bow your chin towards your chest. This gesture of gratitude for showing up. And all the other things that happen while you're on your mat, they all start with the seed intention of you showing up here. This is not by accident. This is time you carved out. This is a commitment you have made to yourself, and it's worth acknowledging. So as you bow within, I bow to you, my friends, my partners on this path. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.